Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about famous data set which is called Zomato Mumbai Dataset. As you all aware that Zomato is basically a food delivery partner which connects with consumers based on their order. They will go to different hotels or restaurant and get the food delivered to them. So using this particular data set, we are going to see how it is progressing in terms of the location called Mumbai. So before getting to the actual data science analysis, I would just give you a overview about the data set. So the data set which is being showed in the screen right now, which is basically done using web scraping. So that's why the reason you are able to see the pipe symbol here against every columns. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this particular pipe symbol, or rather the Excel file which we see right now on the screen, using a Python code, so that we can understand what it is all about. Okay, so here is my analysis. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to import necessary packages. As you all aware that PD stands for pandas, which is used to analyze panel analysis data. NumPy stands for numerical Python, used to calculate the complex numbers. Matplotlib is used to show graph, and Seaborn is also used to show a data visualization using Seaborn packages. And also I wanted to bring in another package called Plotty Express, using which we would be able to call up various graphs, scatter plots, histogram, area graph, and so on. Okay, so first what I'm going to do, I'm just going to run this libraries. So once I run this library, in the next cell, what I'm trying to do that, since Plotty was not available in my system, so I just gave a pip installation so that I would make sure this particular library had successfully installed into my machine. Okay, that's why the reason I just commented, because I already ran this. Okay, now I'm going to read the data set using a pd dot read underscore csv. So once I try to read the csv file, I'm going to see the file, the content in the file. Something is going to be like this. Okay, whereas in the previous one we had a csv file which had a pipe symbol, which is not up to the mark in terms of readability. So there is a bottleneck in terms of reading this particular Excel file. So I would prefer to read this file using Pandas library, so that the data, whatever we are seeing in this forum, it's completely human readable and understandable. Okay. Now, if you look at this particular column, we have a name. Okay, name of restaurants, and then we have a price, and we have a question category. Okay, city is nothing but a Bombay. Region, which is what are all the different regions available within Bombay, and we have different URLs for different restaurant, page number, and then the question type, whether it's casual or bar, or providing just dessert alone, and so on. It depends upon the kind of business that they are doing. Okay, and timing, when it starts, when it is getting closed, and from which day to which day, meaning like Monday to Sunday, Monday to Saturday, something like that. And rating type, what is the rating type which has been given by various customers, like excellent, poor, very good, and so on. And we have a rating number, like a 4, 5, something like that. If it goes beyond 3 or 4, which means the particular restaurant has got a good amount of rating from the customer. And this is the oat. which even I'm not sure what exactly the vote refers to. So as far as the data is concerned, what we are trying to understand, we are trying to understand the best cuisine, best restaurant in Mumbai with good amount of rating, and also there is a data point which has been provided by the Zomato Mumbai dataset customer that voting has been provided against. Some amount of ranks. So the higher the voting, the more the value to that particular restaurant. So that is the actionable insight that we driven from this particular data set. Now, what we are trying to do, we are trying to do, various pre-processing techniques. When I say pre-processing techniques, we involve, elimination of non values. If at all, if any outlier exists, we can remove that. If at all uh, any unwanted data is available, we can try to convert it as a meaningful data, so as to able to analyze distinctly and able to produce a good result from the data set. So now I try to understand the shape of the data. So it shows it has got close to some 15, I would say that this is close to 15,000 rows and 12 columns. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to understand the data first. Okay. So to do so, what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this particular script info, which will give a complete representation about the data. So if you look at all those, 12 columns, uh, first one got zero null, second one has got one, and so on. Okay, so whichever has null, which has been reduced its row count, and just showing the rows which doesn't have null values. Okay, all of them are categorical data types. Okay. It looks like this is some more complicated because we have pricing which is being showed in a categorical object. We have a rating type that is also showing an object. As far as our understanding is concerned, pricing, timing, oaths, rating predominantly be a numerical data. So let us try to get into the actual data set, deep dive, and try to understand the nomenclature of data. If at all it's required, we can convert them as a numerical as and when required. Okay. Now, as I was saying, info which will give a complete representation of the data, I'm trying to run this particular script so that I can understand how many rows as null values. Okay. Now what I have done, the first column name as 0, but rest of the columns have got null values. We will try to remove this null value one by one after the other. So I'm just doing the describe to understand how many of them are unique, what is the total count, what is the top, what is the frequency. Okay, everything I can understand with this description command. So now what I wanted to do, now I wanted to check for the duplicate. If at all I have a duplicate records, I can negate it. So okay, so what I'm doing, I'm just having a variable called wrong underscore data. Using that, I'm trying to understand the duplicate value which is available in my data set. Okay, I have around I would say that 4 to sorry 942 rows as what you called duplicates. Okay, which has already been shown in the description also. Let me show something in the description. Even if you look at the description, it was showing 942, which means we have 942 duplicate records. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this particular script. Okay, if you look at this particular symbol, which is a negation, negation is nothing but we are just trying to remove the duplicate records from our data set. Okay, now I'm going to run this script. Okay, I successfully run that. Once again, I'm trying to run the same script which we already ran here so that we can make sure that we don't have any duplicate records. Okay, see here. Right now, I don't have any duplicate records, unlike the same script which we have run previously when we were, trying to run negation script. Okay. Now I try to identify or see the actual data set. How does it look like? Okay, the row count has been reduced because we reduced duplicates, and the column count still 12 exists. Okay, as a part of pre-processing technique, I feel that URL doesn't add any value, page number doesn't give any value, city2 doesn't give, because we already aware that we have taken into consideration Mumbai dataset. So I don't think it's necessary to have city column. Okay, so that we can remove all three of them, which is URL, page number, and city. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take into consideration URL, page, city, and then I would like to go with column wise, because if at all I put a 0 here, it will go ahead with the row wise. So I wanted to put it in a column wise. In place is equal to true, which is I wanted to make sure this particular changes to be affected in the original data set, which is raw underscore df, so that I can make sure that this particular script will be executed in the original data set. Okay. Now I'm just running this particular command, and then I'm checking the data set. How does it look like? Okay, as you can see here, we can't find a URL, page number, and city, because as it has been removed using this particular script. Okay, these are all part and parcel of data pre-processing technique. Now I am trying to understand what happens into my data set, whether still I have any blank values. Yes, I do have a lot of blank value, especially in timings and reading type. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the price. Okay, price, which right now it just have only one blank value. So I just before I get into the price, what I would like to do, I would like to run one script to make you understand what exactly happens. So I'm going to this particular price column and trying to identify how many of them are null. Okay. Oops. I have one null which is on the 50,000 80th record. Okay. As you can see here, I have null value here, which is one being showed here in the pricing. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove that null value, so that I make sure that against that particular row, all the null value gets removed successfully. Okay, so to do so, I'm just going to run the script so that I can make sure 50,080th row having null value not only in pricing but also on the other columns like region, question type, timing. So I wanted to make sure all of them to be dropped off. So what I will do, I will just run this particular script. I'm pointing to the label 15,080 and then access equal to 0. As I told you, access equal to 0 stands for, we need to target the row wise. The moment I run this, if at all I again run this, I don't find any because as I have dropped here. Okay. Now I'm just going back to the null count. Price has become 0. Question type category only have one blank, timing 65, rating type 1010. Okay. Now what I wanted to do, since I have this many null values, so I'm going to uh, let me show you. So this is a challenging part to me, because unless I make them as 0, I would not able to go ahead and complete my analysis part and try to run any machine learning algorithm if at all it's required for this particular data set. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace with not applicable NA against wherever I have null values. Okay. Now I'm going to run some. See here. Now I don't have any more null values. Okay. As a part of next step with respect to pre-processing technique, what I'm going to do, I'm going to uh, see the rating column. In the rating column, if at all it has any text value other than numerical, I'm trying to convert that as a numerical data type. So before I convert the numerical data type, I wanted to make sure how does it look like, what is the behavior of rating column. So the moment I put a value count, I can see the rating. Against that, I see a frequency. So whatever we are seeing here, this is basically a frequency, and this is the actual rating. Okay. Now, if you look at this particular output, I have something hyphen which is non-numerical, and then I have something opening which is also non-numerical. Okay. Next is that I have various things. I'm not sure about that. So what I would like to do, I would like to convert this hyphen new opening to be a numerical. Instead of hyphen new opening, I can convert them as a zero because it doesn't change the meaning. Zero is a zero. It still, indicates that the rating is zero because even whatever the text that you are seeing as opening new, which has got nothing to do with the numerical. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this particular script dot replace to underscore replace. So wherever I have hyphen new rating opening, I wanted to change it as zero. So in place is equal to true is that I wanted to make sure that this needs to be affected in the original data set. So the moment I run this, all this have gone now. Okay. Similarly, I'm trying to identify for the votings. If at all I wanted to go for a votings, I can see something like a hyphen is there, new is there, which is no longer interesting for me because I need to change that as a zero. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to convert the non numerical type to the numerical type. So I'm going to execute this particular command. Wherever I have hyphen new opening votes, I'm trying to convert that as a zero. Okay. Now all of them become a zero. If at all, for your information, I tried running after I run the script. See here. Instead of hyphen, I see zero. Wherever I had opening, wherever I had new, everything has been converted as zero. Okay. Now what I'm trying to do, since price, rating, odds, everything being showed as a part of the describe as an object, that is categorical data. Now I wanted to make sure that these are all successfully converted as a numerical data, and the two price should be in integer, that is without decimal, rating which has decimal like 4.5, 4.3. That's why the reason it is being converted as a data type of float, and vote is also integer value. So I'm trying to run this particular script. Okay. Once I run that particular script, what I'm trying to do, trying to do, now you can see here. Okay, previously all of this data type being showed as object, and now you can see price has become a integer, and rating type or rating becomes in float, what has become integer. Okay, this is the way you need to convert the existing classification or what do you call any naming column to be a numerical column. Okay. Now I wanted to make sure how does my timing column looks like. Okay, timing column is says like it has been merged together with week of meaning like what is the start day of that week and when it is getting over. Say for example, in the first record it shows it opens 11 a.m. in the morning until 11 p.m. in the night, right from Monday until Sunday. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I feel that I have two information clubbed together. One is the timing right from morning until night, and the another one is how many days in a week it opens. So two information clubbed together. I wanted to split them out so that I can take actionable insight from that data. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to split the column. So for that, I'm just calling the timing column. From there, I'm calling .str split from this bracket. Wherever we have this bracket, I wanted to split from this bracket. N equal to 1 is that I wanted to take 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. into 0 bucket, and Monday to Sunday into 1 bucket. That's why the reason I wanted to put n equal to 1. And expand is that it will expand and show it as a two different column, one with 0, another one is 1. Okay, now I'm going to execute this particular script so that you are able to see here. Previously, it was merged together. Now, one has been created with 0, and the days has been created against 1. Okay. So this is giving a good amount of clarity, unlike before, because we clearly split it out the data, and we will also name for this 0 and 1, so that we can get an actionable insight from these data points. So the way to do that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give timing for this one, and I'm going to give the name day open for this particular column. Okay, so this is the way I'm trying to do. So the moment I execute that, I can see that two more column newly added. One is timing. I can show here. So timing is the brand new column, and days open, which is another brand new column which we have created as a part of splitting the timing and day open from the old column. Okay, this is how we need to split the column data points. And moving on next, I wanted to make sure that I wanted to remove this unnecessary bracket. So what I will do, I will just run this particular command, so that the bracket, whatever you see here, which has been removed here. Okay. And moving on next, if at all I wanted to see any null values available in my data set. Okay. Days open. Okay. Which one is day open? I think here we have the days open still blank value. We will try to remove that and put some values against that, so that we can come out of the blank value. So what I'm trying to identify the null values and replace it with the NA. So the moment I done that, again I'm running the script, and I can see that all of the records become 0. Okay. um, this is just identifying the information about the table. Okay. After that, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to identify the ratings whichever as 0, or votings whichever as 0, because rating 0 and voting 0 has never give any information to us, because we wanted to identify the best or worst restaurant in Mumbai. If at all we wanted to investigate that, if it is having good amount of rating, we can say that particular restaurant in a particular location as popular, and being contacted by many customers. If it is having low rating, we can tell them that restaurant is no longer progressing well. In case if it is 0, there is meaningless to have the data, because we neither able to say that restaurant is progressing well, nor able to say that restaurant is not progressing well. Having said that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to identify this particular data. Okay, and I see that this many data which is having a rating 0 and voting 0. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to negate or drop that from my original data set. To do so, I'm going to use this negate function. So the moment I do that, all those things gone. Now I try to run this script. See here, all of them become blank, because I dropped a rating equal to 0, vote equal to 0. Okay. Now I wanted to see the original structure of the data set. Okay. Um, and then what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to identify the unique value of the rating type. Okay. In the rating type, I have average. Okay. As you can see here, we have average, good, very good, excellent, poor, with a different frequency. This is meaningful for us. If you look at beyond this, we have something which is never been able to understand by us, and we can't understand what is the frequency of those value. So what we can do, we can take all this. I would say that for me, this is like a junk value, and park it against average, good, very good, poor, something like that, so that we can avoid all this external bias, and we can tell that that junk value or whatever be there, it will go to its respective bracket. Now to do so, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the replace function and taking a rating underscore type, and then excellent t, I wanted to make it as excellent, and then I have some junk value, and I wanted to make it to be parked under the respective values, like a good, very good, average. Okay, this is purely we can understand once we touch base with the business and understand what is what, and then we can try to park it to its respective what you called rating type. So I'm just running this. Now I wanted to see this. Okay. Previously we had a lot of junk values. Now we have some five categories: average, good, very good, excellent, poor, very good, and its frequency. Okay. Now this the data is meaningful, unlike the previous one. Okay. Now what we are trying to do, we are trying to identify what is there in the region. Okay. In the region we have Mira Road, something like that, and we have a lot of value which may not be appropriate for us. We wanted to understand what is the exact region and its frequency. So to do so, what I can do, whatever be the unknown regions within Mumbai, we can make it to be mapped with the known regions. Okay, and also whichever saying west, east, south, north, we can remove that. All we wanted to do, we wanted to understand only the famous region. Even if it is a small region which is close to the nearer famous region, we can clump it together with that famous region. So to do so, what I'm going to do, I'm going to call up regress function. So for that, I'm calling the region column. In that region column, I'm calling replace. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to identify any value that starts from a small a until small z, and any value that starts from capital A to capital Z, followed by any character, even if it is a space. Okay, that stands for dot plus. And I wanted to identify two lines. I can see most of them having two lines. So I wanted to remove any character, any space, any letter right from a to small a to small z, capital A to capital Z. Okay, and then I wanted to make it as blank. So let me show you how that works. I run this. Now I'm trying to do the value counts for region. See here, previously we had hotel, embroidered Jew. So all these have gone. Okay. Now you can see this particular data. Okay. Until this two dots, everything is removed. We can see this only region alone. Okay. Even within that region, as I told you, I wanted to remove west, east, south, north, something like that, whatever is available, because I need to focus only at the region level, not at the sub-region level. To do so, I'm running this particular script where I wanted to remove all this west, east, whatever there in the dataset to be blank. So I run this again. I run the region value count so that I can make sure I remove all this west, east, north, south concept. I only have the real time, regions within Mumbai. Okay, now I feel that there are some regions which is not that popular or very close to main region. So using this particular script, what I'm going to do, I'm going to call the region. I wanted to replace whichever the unknown or which is not that famous region. I wanted to put it into a famous region. Say for example, let us take this particular row. Okay, I have 7 Andheri, Azad Nagar near Andheri station. Okay, all this will be part and parcel within the region called Handeri. So I'm parking it under Handeri. Similarly, I have done it for rest of the data set to its respective famous region, so that I can make sure that gets replaced successfully. Now I run this. I'm trying to run this region. See here, all this will be parked under the famous region. Now I can now the region dataset is pretty much easy for us, compact, portable, because we remove the duplicated version of sub regions or multi complex regions. Okay, now I am trying to understand if at all I have any duplicate data in my dataset. Oh my god, I have 220 duplicate records. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove all of them using the negate function. Okay, or using the drop functions. I'm sorry. So what I'm going to do, I'm seeing here I have this much of original data set. I'm going to remove this duplicates data. Once I run that, what I'm going to do, whatever the data which is there after we remove the duplicate, which stores in the raw underscore df, okay, which is being copied into Zomato dataset, which is the original version of the dataset. I'm running this. Okay, now we can see that original data. Okay, which is completely pre-processed. all this the junk values, blank value, everything have been successfully removed. Let me put this shape here. Okay, so this is the actual size, which is having 10,000 plus rows and 10 columns. Okay, now from this point we are going to perform a exploratory data analysis, meaning that I have set of questions which I have drafted. Against that, I'm going to find out the answer using Python script. To do so, first what I'm going to do, I'm going to understand how many restaurants are in Mumbai for each question type. Okay, so for that, what I'm trying to do, I'm calling this variable fig, and then px stands for plotty.express package. From there, I'm calling histogram. I'm passing my original data set as zomato.df, and then in the x column, I have a question type, and the color is also going to be a question type. And title of this particular histogram is going to be number of restaurant by question type. And finally, I'm going to put fig.show, which will show my actual what you call the graph. Okay, let me try to run this. The moment I run that, it will run and it will successfully show a graph. Okay, okay, see here, we got the cushion type with the different colors, and we have the cushion type on the x-axis, and we have counts of restaurant on the y-axis, and it shows different cushion type for the count of restaurant. Okay, so this is how we need to plot and identify how many different type of cushions available for different restaurant within Mumbai. Okay, next what we are going to do, we are going to answer for this question. What are the percentage of restaurant by rating type in Mumbai? So I wanted to understand the percentage of rating in Mumbai. So I'm calling this particular variable. I'm picking up the original data set. I'm taking a rating type because our question focuses on the rating type. Okay, and I'm calling value dot counts rating dot reset index, which will reset our index right from 0 until the data is exist. And I am trying to rename the column index as rating type, and the count is that count of restaurant in place. I'm just wanted to focus this particular changes to be affected in the original data set, which is rating type underscore dot df. Okay, once I'm execute this particular command, it will show me um, a table with uh, you know rows and columns, so that I can understand the rating type and the counts of restaurant. If at all I wanted to see it in a pie chart, when I execute this particular px dot py, that is plotty express dot py, and passing the necessary variables inside this parameter area, I'll be getting a good pie chart, so that I can easily read and understand. I have uh, average as 47, I have good as 40.4, very good 10.9. Okay, so altogether I can see average is doing well when compared to the rest. Okay, I think we answered for the question number 2, and we are just going to the question number 3. Which are the top 10 rated seafood restaurant in Mumbai? I wanted to understand the top 10 seafood restaurant in Mumbai. To do so, what I'm trying to do, I'm calling my original data set, which is Zomato underscore DF. Okay, question type category is the column name. Within that column name, I wanted to identify which are all the you know values starts or ending with or in between seafood. Okay, and then I'm sorting it by rating using ascending function. Okay, now if I try to run this particular script, what would happen? It will just show you a table with a list of seafoods within Mumbai, and the rating type, which will be showing in the ascending right from 1 until it keeps going on whatever the value exists in the data set. Okay, okay, these are all my top 10 restaurant. As you can see, rating here, it starts from 4.765. Okay, and it keeps reducing. Okay, because we wanted to put ascending equal to false, which is descending. So it is showing in the upside down. Okay. Now I got a clarity on this one. Next question is the which is the best food truck in Mumbai? As you can see in majority of the cities, there is a food truck concept which is being served foods to different customers based upon the demands, which is also doing a pretty good job. Now we wanted to identify which is the best food truck restaurant in Mumbai. To do so, I am picking up the question type, identifying food truck, and sorting it by rating in descending order. Okay. So the moment I ran that, I got three. I got the restaurant with the rating of 4.3, 4.1, 3.9, and votes. Okay, which is doing a pretty good job in this data set. And the next question is that which place have the highest rated restaurant for each question type in Mumbai? Okay. Now, what we want to do, we wanted to assume the restaurant having a rating above 4.5. Okay, in this script, what I'm trying to do, I'm taking the original data set rating greater than 4.5. So whichever the rating it shows beyond 4.5, which is doing good for me. Okay, now as an assumption, I identified that whichever the restaurant having the rating of more than 4.5 is a good. Let me find out what are all that. Okay, this many restaurant, I would say that 97 would be doing a pretty good job, which is more than or equal to 4.5 rating. Okay. Now what I want to do, I wanted to see it in an histogram. Okay. The moment I run this, it will show uh, the question type and the different restaurant. Let me see the script. Okay. 1 second. Okay, in this x-axis, I'm putting a region, and the color is question type, and title is number of restaurant. Okay, so whatever you are seeing here is a region, and this is the question type, different colors, and this is the count of restaurant. Okay, so if you just mouse over here, you can see question type, casual dating, region, Handeri, something like that. So from this graph, you would be able to easily answer for this question, which is which place have the highest rated restaurant for each question type in Mumbai. Okay. Next question is that what is the average price distribution of highest rated restaurant for each question type in Mumbai? Okay, I wanted to understand the average price of highest rated restaurant against each question type in Mumbai. So to do so, first I wanted to get the average price for different cushion type which within Mumbai. To do so, what trying to do, I'm trying to run this particular script. Okay, I'm trying to create this highest rated df.group by. I wanted to pick up the region cushion type, and I wanted to get average price, and then I wanted to reset the index right from 0. Okay, so the moment I run this, I will get a uh, answer for this one. Hang on. Okay, now you can see in the region Handeri, I have a cushion type bar, cafe, casual dating. The price, mean price is 1600, 800, 1700 for the region Handeri with this different cushion type. Okay, now what we can do, we can put it in a scatter plot, and we can see the exact average price distribution for highest rated restaurant against each cushion type. Okay, if you look at this particular script, what I'm trying to do, I'm calling plotty express scatter plot scatter function. I'm passing the data set highest rated price df, and the x-axis region, y-axis price, and color cushion type, and symbol. I wanted to show different type of symbols like a plus, minus, star, something like that, using cushion type, and the title is average price distribution of high rated restaurant for each cushion type. Okay, update traces mark is that it will show that points should be high or less. Okay, it depends how I wanted to show in that column. Okay, now what am I going to do? I'm going to run this particular script. Once I run that, I'm able to see something like that. Okay, I have cushion type, which is this. Okay, and I have the x-axis regions, and in the y-axis I have the mean price. Okay, and the cushion type with the color symbol is that, as I was saying, plus diamond x, something like that it will show. Okay, so based on this graph you can see that average price for desert parlor for the location Handeri, which is somewhere around I would say 300. Okay. Similarly, for this plus, which is launch Handeri, we have somewhere around 1700. Okay. We can narrate this story something like this using this particular graph. Okay. Now, what we are trying to do, we are going forward and trying to answer for the question number 7, which areas have a large number of Chinese restaurant. Okay, to do so, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to run the pick up the question type string contains Chinese, because I wanted to pull in all this Chinese based restaurant from this data set. Now I'm going to run this script. The moment I run that, I would able to understand the list of Chinese restaurants within the perspective of Mumbai. Okay, and also I'm trying to run a graph here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just pick up a few more values to identify the values. First, I got the list of Chinese restaurant within Mumbai. Okay. Now I wanted to understand in the region the name. I wanted to get the region, name of restaurant and its count, mean price, that is the average price. Okay. In terms of descending order. Okay. This is what I was trying to say in this script. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to call up this Chinese restaurant group by region. I will get a region, and then I will get a name of the restaurant counts, and then the average price. After that, I get mm, what you called. I'm trying to rename the column name equal to count of Chinese restaurant, price equal to price, and then reset the index. Okay, if I run this, I will get a table something like that, wherein I get a region count of Chinese restaurant for this different region with the mean price. Okay, now if at all I wanted to put that into a bar chart, what I'm trying to do, I'm calling px dot bar Chinese restaurant, x-axis region, y-axis count of restaurant, and the color price. Title of that is that a Chinese restaurant within the Mumbai. So the moment I try to execute this, what would happen? I will get a bar graph, something like this. Okay, so I can see that this color is having more price. This one is having less price. I have in Thane, I have something where around 400. Okay, um, and in Kolaba, I have something. The price is 844, which is a Chinese restaurant. So this is how we can say with respect to the top level of price to the bottom level and region level and the count of Chinese restaurant within Mumbai. Okay. Now we wanted to try to answer question number 8. Is there a relationship between price and rating for each question type? Yes, we can say that, because what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to take the question type rating and identify mean price, and then put the re-indexing. So the moment I put that, I will be able to identify the relationship between the price and the rating type. Okay, so these are all the different question type, the rating and the price. Okay, Now, what I wanted to do, I wanted to show this relationship in a line graph. So for that, I'm taking y-axis as price, x-axis as rating, and the color is question type. So the moment I put that into a line graph, I'm getting something like that. In the legend, I will be getting a question type as different types what we have in the data set. Against that, I have the rating in the x-axis and the price in the y-axis, and I can compare and I can say that yes, there is a relationship between the rating and the price. So this is the linear relationship we have, and you can see the line. There is an ups and downs against each rating with respect to price. Okay, this is the relationship that we have between the price and the rating type. Now, to answer for the question number 9, is there a relationship between region and the price? Okay, again, we are taking the same script, replacing with the region and the price with the mean value. Okay, the moment I run that, I'll be able to identify the region and its mean price. And then I'm using scatter plot, and I wanted to say what is the how the relationship gets affected. Okay, if you look at the x-axis, we have region, and the y-axis, we have price. And if you look at different data points where we can see what is the relationship between the region and the price, okay, region and the price, we can see something like that. Okay, we have something here which is 1,000 plus price, and the region is Churchagate. Okay, so this is how we can identify the relationship between the price and the location of the restaurant within Mumbai. And moving on, next, the question is that find the list of affordable restaurant. Okay, when we say affordable restaurant, what comes to our mind? It should have low price, high rated, rating should be there so that we can tell that particular restaurant is an affordable. So to do so, what we have to do, we have to identify the mean price from the highest cost of that restaurant. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to take a 25th percentile of the most expensive restaurant from our data frame. Okay, so from our data frame, what we can say, we have highest price, which is 6,000. So if I at all, I need to take, 25th of this 6,000, I would say somewhere around it comes 1250, that is 1,250, which will be the 25th percentile of that highest price restaurant in Mumbai. Okay, so we can just quickly execute this particular script and we can identify that. Now I run this. I got 1, 2, 5. Okay, this is the average cost, that is 25th percentile of the highest cost of a particular highest cost of a costliest restaurant, I would say. Okay, now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to, let me remove this. Okay, now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to identify this thing, finding list of restaurant that is having prices lesser than and equal to 25th percentile of the maximum price that we already found out from this points. Okay, so that we can identify whichever the restaurant which is less than this 1,250 is being considered as a cheapest restaurant for us. Okay, to do so, what I'm trying to do, I'm pulling original data set. I'm calling name, column, price, category, cushion category, region, cushion type. Okay, I'm calling that the price should be less than 1,250 as we have found out here. And then I'm sorting it out by price. Okay, the moment I run that, I got a table with a list of name of the restaurant and its price, cushion type, region, and the cushion. What is the different cushion category? Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to find out the highest rated list of restaurant. Okay, because as I have found out cost wise, what are all the restaurant is lesser than 1,250, which we found out based on this particular script and based on this particular result. In terms of rating, we are trying to identify which are all the restaurant is giving a good rating, which is beyond 4.5 or equal to 4.5. Okay, to do so, I'm trying to pull the data set. I'm calling the same variables, name, question type, and so on, and the rating type should be greater than 4.5, and sort by price. And then I try to execute this so that I get all the restaurants, okay, in Mumbai, which is having a rating equal to 4.5 or more than 4.5. Okay. Now I got the price and the rating data set. Okay. Using that, I'm going to merge and identify the affordable restaurant within Mumbai. To do so, what I'm going to do, I'm going to call up this pd.merge and calling this affordable restaurant data frame and high rated data frame, and I'm doing an inner joint, okay, on name and region. After that, what I'm trying to do in this high rated affordable restaurant, I'm calling a high rate affordable data frame. I'm calling name, price X, cushion, category X, region, category type X, rating, and then I'm mapping it with the original data set with renaming the column, something like this. Okay, so the moment I done that, if at all I try to execute this particular script, I will be getting the list of affordable restaurant which is less than the price of 1250 and having a rating beyond or equal to 4.5. Now I execute this and then execute this. I got all this restaurant which is less than 1250 having a rating of beyond 4.5 or equal to 4.5. Moving on, next question. I wanted to find out the list of most reliable restaurant. To do so, for me, I need to identify as same as the affordable restaurant. The reliable restaurant also talks about the low price, high rated, and a large number of votes. Okay. For that, what I have to do, I have to identify the number of votes for each restaurant. So that I can identify the average votes, and then I can map it together with high rated and low price. To do so, I'm taking a Zomato dataset oats mean so that I can identify the average voting. Okay. After that, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to find the list of restaurant that have votes greater than or equal to the average vote, that is 177. Okay, so I'm calling the original data set with whichever the column is required for me, I'm calling. And then the vote should be the average of 177. And then I'm sorting it by votes, and the ascending is true. Okay. Now, if at all I run that, I got the list of restaurant with the low price, high ratings, and the voting is beyond the mean level, that is the average level. Okay. If you look at the votes, all are beyond 177, and we got a price which is affordable, and we got okay, votes, everything is there. Okay. Now we wanted to do one more exercise here to identify the most reliable, highest rated and affordable restaurant. Okay. So we obtained this data frame by simply taking the intersection of high rated, affordable data set and mean restaurant data set. Now we got the cost, whichever is less than 100 and 1250 is less, which is an affordable, and the rating should be equal to or beyond 4.5, and the voting should crosses beyond 177. Okay, with this points in my mind, what we are going to do, we are going to execute the script, and we can identify the actual affordable restaurant with the price less than 1250. The voting will be beyond 177, and the rating beyond or equal to 4.5. So to do so, what I'm trying to do, I'm doing a pd.merge for the mean data set, high rated data set, and then making an inner joint on name and region, and then I'm calling a reliable, calling it as a reliable restaurant data frame. In that, I'm calling whichever the column is applicable for me by adding X, because whichever I'm making an inner joins on columns, except that whichever the column I'm calling, I'm adding a suffix as X for me to identify. And then finally, I wanted to rename the column name. and whichever I put as an X, against that I wanted to put the original value for the mapping of the original table. Okay, once I put that and then execute this particular thing, I'll be getting a table something like that, so that I can make sure all the prices are less than 1250, and the voting is beyond 177, and the rating is beyond 4.5 or equivalent to 4.5. So this is the affordable, reliable restaurants for me in Mumbai. Okay, this is how we can analyze the data, and we can conclude from here that we have successfully done our EDA. So as a part of EDA, as a part of pre-processing, we have removed null values, we have removed duplicates values, we have converted categorical value into numerical value, and also we found different sub regions within the main region. We try to convert it to a main region, and whichever the junk value we found, we removed that, and we got plenty of questions against that. We created a different Python script, and we created a code to answer to those questions. Now we can go back to the business and tell them this is the actionable insight that we got from the data set. Okay, stay tuned. We can have another discussion with respect to Zomato Chennai dataset post this particular demonstration. In case of any comments, feel free to put it in my comment section, so that I would be glad to respond to you back. Thanks. Have a nice day. Bye bye.